Welcome to Toffee TV. I have got the big man from Arsenal Fan TV, Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV. Loads of you Blues love him. He's sound, Rob.
Good to be here, mate.
He's sound. Get the nice stuff out the way before.
Yeah, I know I ain't going to get these greetings tomorrow if it all goes wrong.
No, look for him by the Bullens.
No. Saying nice.
Obviously, ahead of the Everton Arsenal game at Goodison Park, thought we'd do a little preview with the man himself. I'll be honest, Rob, I'm not looking forward to this game at all. You come to Goodison in unbelievable form at the moment, playing really, really well. Haven't lost their way since March. Incredible win. What's happened? What are Arsenal doing a little bit differently this year?
Oh, you know what? I think there's a bit more steel in the team. Some of the signings like Granit Xhaka, Mustafi won't be playing tomorrow. He came off with a hamstring at the weekend. Of course, was that Everton, wasn't he, as well? But those two players in particular have brought a bit of steel to the team. I think Francis Coquelin as well has been really, really good this season. So they've sort of added that sort of spine to the team. And it's meant that players like even Koscielny and that have played better. And I think Petr Cech as well has been integral to the team as well. And then, so they've added the steel, and then up front now, you know, we're playing very well. I mean, Theo Walcott's having a great season, scoring a lot of goals. He's showing us what we've wanted to see from him for a long time. He's showing it for us. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's playing well. And then you've got the two world-class players in the team, which is Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez. And in most games, if they come to the party, then we win. So we'll be hopeful tomorrow. No, it's not all like that. But I think if those two, they're we got the spine, and if those two come to the party, normally it's good. It's for Arsenal.
I mean, I'm terrified now. You've just reeled those names off. And then, of course, they've got Olivier Giroud, who just comes off the bench and scores against Everton every time he plays against us. So what's not to be positive about?
But listen, you've got... when I look at your team, I look at Lukaku and I'm like, he's still banging in the goals. He's still banging in the goals. I'd say for most Arsenal fans coming up, we always look at coming to Goodison as a tough game. I know we won last season, but me and I'd say the majority of our Arsenal fans will be coming up here saying it's a tough game. Goodison Park always is. There's always a great atmosphere there. Your fans always right behind the team. And I'd be looking at it tomorrow and thinking to myself, if we can get an early goal, try and silence your crowd a bit, because you'll be up for it under the lights and that. Then it could be a good night. But I don't think Arsenal will be looking on this game lightly, because I still think, I know I was chatting to Ped earlier, and there's a lot of doom and gloom in that, but I still think Everton's a good team. It's still got a lot of quality players. I can't understand why Ross Barkley hasn't been playing, because I think he's a top player.
I think one win in 10 tells you where.
Yeah, I've been surprised by that, because you actually got off to a good start, didn't you?
Second in September.
Yeah.
Started well. It's a brick wall. There's been a few games we should have won and we didn't win. But then again, we were battered at City, but the keepers played brilliantly, got us a point there. So it's been a little bit up and down. I think the problem Evertonians have at the moment is we're a bit in between everything. We're not seeing a pattern of play. It's not as if we're building towards something. The manager looks disconnected from the team. Now this could be his managerial style.
It's a Dutch thing, isn't it?
It could be, but talking to Southampton fans, reading a lot. We have Michael Ball in on a final word. He's worked with Ronald Koeman over in Holland. He does have that disconnection with the players. He likes to buy his own players, and he puts everything into that. And I just think he's made his mind up on a few Everton players and thought, you're not for me. And I think they know. And so that combination is a little bit, it's not good for, but I think the criticism, certainly what me and Ped have got with the manager at the moment, is because he's on big money, so he's got to make tough decisions, and he needs to freshen the team up. There's a couple of younger players who could come in and give us a spark. I mean, I saw a player, I spoke to you after the game last season at Goodison, Iwobi, and I said, this kid has come in, was he 17 at the time of it? And his energy was just he set the tone. He just won 3-0 that day. He set the tone that day.
And he's been playing well. He had a little bit of a dip earlier on in the season, but the last couple of games he's come back really well. He scored away against Basel. He scored again at the weekend, a very good goal. Came off the bench. And I think, again, that's another one of the things this year with Arsenal is that we've got genuine strength in depth. You know, Lucas Perez played against Basel, scored a hat-trick. Yeah, another guy you guys are going to play.
Yeah, nice one, Lucas.
But he scored a hat-trick away in the Champions League. Yeah. And he wasn't even in the squad at the weekend. I'm wondering if he might even come back into contention for the game tomorrow, because we then follow you up with Man City away.
Nice.
So we've got 2 tough games just before Christmas. So it'd be interesting to see, you know, who starts, who we go with. But I think the thing that you guys will have to watch out for is the pace of Arsenal on the counter. You know, as you said, with players like Iwobi, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Theo Walcott, and then obviously Sanchez. I think that's another one of the differences with Arsenal this season, is that playing Sanchez down the middle is a different. And do you know what? The funny thing is that we did one of the first games where we did that and went for like 3 pacey players up front is when we played you lot last year, because most of the games it was Giroud.
Yeah.
And then we came to you guys, and I think it was Welbeck. We had Welbeck, Iwobi, and Sanchez down the middle, and it was brilliant. And we were just getting in behind you constantly, and it was kind of then that Wenger started playing that system up until when Welbeck got injured.
Yeah.
Then Giroud came back in. So I think he'll probably go with a similar sort of pacing behind, because some of your defenders are sort of older guys. So I reckon he'll be looking at it and thinking, well, maybe we can get him behind.
Just all of those players you reeled off and players you were on the bench. I'd have them all. Take them all. That shows you.
But you guys have got a good team. You've got a good team.
You know what the problem is, Rob, for Everton, is that the goals stop with Lukaku. You just reeled off 6 players there who can all score goals for Arsenal. You know, and you wouldn't. Someone checking the scoreline wouldn't be surprised to see any of those players you've mentioned scoring goals. Whereas I think if you said to most fans, to most Everton fans, Everton scored tomorrow night against Arsenal, you get to most of them, 98% of them say Lukaku, and that's Everton's issue. There's one man in the team who scores goals, and the way Everton are playing at the minute, I don't think Ronald Koeman's getting the best out of him. Rom's got 8 Premier League goals this season, or 8 or 9.
2 again at the weekend, wasn't it?
2 at the weekend. He's up on his own, and he doesn't like that job. He wants to be alongside someone. So if it was me tomorrow night, I would play Valencia. Now Valencia isn't going to strike fear into the heart of Arsenal, of course he's not, but what he does is he's nuisance value. He runs around, he's pacey, he's decent in the air. That gives Rom a little bit more freedom. You give him a little bit of, you make him a bit freer, he looks more interesting, I think. And
then you're going to lose that sort of player in midfield though.
But listen,
and that's kind of where our area of strength is.
We're playing, I don't think Koeman will do it, but I would do it, because I would say, right, okay, if we go 4-3-3, which, it's never 4-3-3 with us, it's always 4-5-1. If we play that way, we're trying to match up with Arsenal. They elite us all day long anyway. Because especially if we're just knocking it long to Rom, we can't keep hold of it anyway. So you're going to have the ball all the time. But if you've got 2 men to have to look after and we're knocking it long, we're going to get our opportunities that way. I would play a bit of a lopsided 4-4-2, almost, with Delafeu being able to join in, and then maybe 3 midfield players across to try and soak up. Because you will have all the ball. You will have probably 60% possession tomorrow night, because Everton have changed a little bit than the way they were under Martinez. And I think for us, we've got to try and stay in the game as long as possible and hope that we get a ricochet or something breaks to us, and then we get something to cling on to. If we try and match you, there's only going to be one winner.
Well, I want us to be positive. I think if we're positive, I think you've got good defenders, but as I said, they're kind of aging defenders, like, in Jagielka, Williams, and that's why I think if I was Arsene Wenger, I'd be looking to play up front, Alexis up front, go for the same sort of 3-pronged speedy attack like what we went with last year, to try and get in behind and cause problems there. I think Giroud, Ashley Williams, Jagielka will deal with him easier, because they're good at that. But if we can get some pace in behind, I think we could have some joy. But listen, I always look at Everton as a very tough place to come to. Everton, Liverpool away, always tough. So 3 points would be brilliant. It'd be brilliant, but it won't be easy. I know it's not going to be an easy game.
There you have it. Let's hope you're right, Rob. Let's hope you're right. Let's hope it's a tough game. We're looking for a reaction. We need something. The only
have your reaction against Liverpool. Leave us alone.
We'll need that. Listen, we need a reaction against anyone. The only positive I would say going into this is, of course, we're still unbeaten at Goodison, and that gives us something to cling on to. We have been better at home than we have been away. But score prediction?
2-1 Arsenal.
I'm not going to give you mine for the. I'll go for a very unrealistic 2-2. But I think, listen, I've got loads of respect for Arsenal. This year, they look like they've gone up another notch. And I've
got respect for Everton. I still think, I know it's been an indifferent start for Everton this season, but I still think you've got too many quality players in there not to have a bad season. I still think, I'd say it looks like a blip. I do think Koeman's a good manager as well. So, I don't know. I've been surprised by some of the like Watford. I would have thought that Everton would have beaten Watford, but it's football, isn't it?
Well, see, if you don't match it, you get beat. But anyway, Rob, thanks for coming in, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Big thanks. All the best for tomorrow.
You too.
Just win. Big thanks to Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV. Go and subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV if you want to see more of the big man. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time on Toffee TV.